One of my favorite parts of covering the Sussexes is talking about their fashion. And for years, I have created Sussex style videos where I get to break down their fashion and share my opinions on all of their fabulous looks. And over the years, I found myself gravitating to some looks and calling those my favorites. And in every category, I can absolutely name a top 10 favorite looks, whether it's athleisure, formal, swimwear, you name it. I have a look in mind that I gravitate to when it comes to the Sussexes. But over the years, ever since 2019, there has been one look in particular that has never left me. And while I've actually loved all of the fashion each of them have doled out, this one particular look from both of them, but particularly Meghan, has never left me. Anytime I see anything similar, I then revisit the photos or the videos from that look. And to this day, I personally feel like we don't talk about it enough because it absolutely stopped me in my tracks. Now, again, this is subjective. This isn't based on any facts, rhyme, reason, etc. This is just my opinion. But this look has never left my number one favorite look from Meghan of all time. Despite so many looks coming very, very close, this one is just near and dear to my heart. I can't wait to talk about it because I don't talk about it enough, so let's get started. Thank you for clicking on my video, and if you're returning, welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm excited to talk about one of my favorite looks from Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex of all time. But while I get through the intro, if you're in the live chat, go ahead and guess what you think I'm going to say. Now, for those of you who've been here for a while, you have an advantage because I did a countdown a few years ago, and this was my number one favorite look from Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. So if you remember that, then feel free to share that in the live chat if you can recall. But I'm going to be fair. I don't know how you could remember. We have talked about a lot of clothes when it comes to Meghan. So if you remember that, you have some kind of supernatural power. But anywho, let me know in the live chat what outfit you think I'm going to say is my number one favorite look from Meghan of all time. Now, I do want to be fair. I don't compare her wedding looks, her wedding dress, nor her reception dress to anything else in fashion. Those two looks are my favorite wedding looks ever, and I don't compare them to anything else. So those are in a league of their own. However, the look I'm going to be talking about today was actually a formal gown she wore during a trip. I think I just gave it away. However, before we get into that, if you haven't already, please don't forget to go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and please don't forget to share so that more people can find us. February 2019. Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, and Prince Archie, who'd been cooking in the baby bump for about 7 months, went on a 3-day trip to Morocco. And while there, they attended a reception hosted by the British ambassador to Morocco in Rabat that evening. Meghan chose a cream, caftan-inspired bespoke gown from Christian Dior. This gown started so many conversations. The number one conversation, how much did it cost? Number 2, why didn't she choose a Moroccan designer? And number 3, what's haute couture? Harry and Meghan were welcomed with a traditional rosewater greeting as they entered the residence. Guests at the function included influential Moroccan women, disabled athletes, and young entrepreneurs. Prince Harry spoke with military representatives, including one who attended Sandhurst, where Prince Harry and William graduated. The Duchess of Sussex chatted with young female entrepreneurs. Issuing a clarion call to feminists, Meghan told a group of female executives and entrepreneurs that women around the world need to push the boundaries to advance their causes. Women have to challenge everywhere in the world, she said. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about the details on the dress. The floor-length design featured traditional caftan elements like the flowing cut, as well as a high neck and draped bodice, and the sleeves were bordered with glittering rhinestones and crystals. As with the Valentino look that Meghan wore the night prior to this, it was haute couture and it had diplomatic meaning. The dress's neckline and sleeve detailing offered nods to Morocco's traditional robes and showed respect for the country's modest way of dressing. The Duchess also carried a bag by Christian Dior, the embellished pochette clutch with a bead. Now, bees have been a motif at Dior for some time, and it's used in a mix of merchandise. However, the bee is said to be inspired by founder Christian Dior's love of gardens and gardening. Now, in 2019, when this was first revealed, this kind of just was like, oh, what a cool detail. Now that I know that Meghan loves gardening, I didn't know at the time. I'm sure some of you did, but I had no idea that she loved gardening that much. And now, after with Love Meghan and learning more about her pastime and her passion of gardening, and not just gardening, but bees specifically, considering Meghan has bees herself and they played a major role in her garden and her products from As Ever. So looking back from 2025 to 2019, that was just such a cool Easter egg to realize retrospectively. I thought that was just so cool. And I wonder if that played a part in her picking this clutch. I'm sure it's no surprise that this is my favorite look from Meghan because it's a lot of people's favorite look. As a matter of fact, when Meghan wore this globally, people could not stop talking about it. Harper's Bazaar said Meghan looked like a true princess. Vogue India said the dress was perfect for expectant moms. British Vogue said the look was stunning and show-stopping, and Hello Magazine called it glamorous. And that's just to name a few. Everyone had something to say about this gown, and the fact that it was so popular, it raised so much awareness, which I thought everyone knew what haute couture was, but it raised awareness to haute couture. It was one of the most Google searched words or terms at that time because of this dress from Meghan. While the focus has been on the gown, and deservedly so, I actually have to zoom out a bit and talk about the look in its entirety because the look makes the gown and the gown makes the look. Starting with her hair, I think it was a solid choice for her to pull her hair back into a low bun. Y'all know I'm partial to a bun anyway, but I love that she made this choice because it did two things. It accentuated her beautiful eye makeup. She went with a more dramatic eye makeup. We rarely see Meghan go for an ultra glam eye. And this look, she had a very dark eye, and I loved that. But she also went for a nude lip to kind of tone it down, so it gave a nice balance. But also, she gave the lip a slight mauve hue. Genius. Also, with her hair pulled back, you were able to see her snowflake earrings and see the detailing of the neckline of the gown. Now, this is one of the more modest gowns I've ever seen worn on a royal. And although it's modest, it's still very beautiful. Sometimes people feel like in order for a gown to be elevated, you have to show a lot of skin. But what I love most about this gown is that Meghan is wearing the gown. It's not wearing her. And that is a lot of fabric, which is surprising. Usually when you have this much fabric and there's very little skin shown, you can get swallowed up. But as you can see, not only is the dress perfectly fitted, but if you actually look at the sleeves, you see that they cut off right at her wrist. So she has a lot of control. They're not actually swallowing up her hands or her arms. She can move, and the gown moves with her. Also, something else I noted, although this is a caftan style gown and it's floor length with long sleeves and a high neck, now that is a lot of fabric. Something that I noticed, it's perfectly fitted, so there is not an excess of fabric. One of the things I worried about when I saw her first turn the corner, when I first saw this gown, I immediately looked at the hem of the gown. And now one of the things that I've learned over time is that Meghan's hems are always perfect. They barely kiss the floor. But at the time, I wasn't as familiar with her tailoring. And so I immediately thought, oh my goodness, I hope it's not too long. I hope she doesn't trip. I immediately went there, and I tend to do that. Anytime I see any kind of long gown, especially if someone is wearing heels, the first thing I do is almost like a safety protocol in my own mind to make sure they're okay is I look at the hem of their dress. And I think I'm a little bit shell-shocked from the time that Beyonce was on tour and she wore this long coat for Ring the Alarm during a set coming downstairs and she fell. And while everyone else laughed, my heart stopped. I'm always worried about people falling and getting hurt seriously. So I think I'm traumatized, but that's neither here nor there because that didn't apply to this gown. This gown was perfectly hemmed, and it was hemmed so well that you could actually see her beautiful pointed toe gold shoe. Another part that I loved about this, I've already talked about the clutch and the bee embellishment, but now the earrings are snowflake. They're not bee, but the shape is very similar. And I felt like that connection looked like it was made to be worn together. And although they weren't, it looks so in sync. And I also adore the fact that she chose to go minimal on the jewelry because there is so much fabric. One of the main things we talk about when we talk about Meghan's fashion is that she is all about balance. If she's going to show a lot of skin at the top, she's likely going to have a longer dress. If she's going to have her legs out, she tends to have a much higher neck, or she wears sleeves, or she wears her hair down. She tends to have a nice balance, left to right, up and down. And this gown is no different. Although there is a lot of fabric, the fabric isn't in excess. It's not too long. It's perfectly hemmed. And these sleeves are perfect. I love the embellishments because, again, it paid respect to the culture, which we've come to know that Meghan does that no matter what. But it looked so perfect on the gown that it took it from being potentially a muumuu, which you can get into with caftans. It's really easy to lean into muumuu culture. I have purchased caftans that I thought were beautiful, and when I put them on, I looked like I was getting ready to sweep the kitchen. And so you have to be very careful. Even formal caftan style gowns can do that. They have to be tailored perfectly, and you have to have the right amount of embellishments. This is one of the best caftan formal gowns I have ever seen. Lastly, I have to point out this color. This color, paired with Meghan's lipstick and her makeup, made her glow. I love that they chose to coordinate with Prince Harry wearing a toned down muted tie. It's almost like a slate gray and a blue suit that accentuated this very cream, almost champagne gold dress. Now in the light, it looks cream, but in the sun, it looks like it's champagne and there's a slight shimmer. Again, there's so many elements to this dress, and the fact that it shifts so well on her body, you keep getting different tones in the lighting. If you watch the videos, which I've included for a purpose, you can't get the full effect of this gown in pictures. But if you look at the videos, you can actually see the dress shift from looking like a matte cream dress to a champagne with a slight sparkle. I love gowns that have that kind of detailing that just gives you something in every environment. And if you watch them walk up from the outside, Meghan not only looks radiant, but she also looks comfortable and cool. They were in Morocco. Those two elements are very important. Overall, these are the reasons why I love this dress. And aside from all of the technical stuff, aside from the details, this look has always stayed with me. I don't know that I've ever seen a royal woman look this radiant. And to be fair, I would have loved a tiara, but at the time I thought that because I was dying to see her in a tiara again. But now looking back with the earrings, with the ring, that giant ring, with the embellishment on the handbag, and with the color of the dress, I'm actually really glad she didn't wear a tiara or anything on her head for that matter, because the dress was doing a lot. Her makeup was doing a lot. Her earrings were doing a lot. I think a tiara or anything on her head would have been too much, and it would have pulled away from the elegance of the gown. The gown is dramatic. We got sleeve, we got embellishment, we got length, we got color shifts, we got texture shifts, we got draping. There wasn't anything else needed. This look is absolute perfection. Thank y'all for giving me time to fawn over this look. Every few years, I have a moment with this gown. I am obsessed. And it's not even just the gown, because I'm going to be fair. If this gown were on anyone else, styled anyway, in another way, I don't know that I would have the same affinity to it. So y'all let me know what you think about this look. And is this in your top favorite looks from Meghan? And if so, what about this look speaks to you specifically? Obviously, you don't have to think what I think. But again, there's so much to this. And I've heard other people talk about this gown and come up with completely different reasons why they love it and point things out even to me. And I thought I knew everything about this dress. Even the inseam is beautiful. I mean, they spared no expense and no detail with this gown. They literally wove every single thread with Meghan in mind. And look at how it came out. This is absolutely stunning. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, or if you're watching during the premiere, in the live chat. I could talk about this dress all day, but I'm not going to do that to y'all. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say. Thank you so much for watching the SharionSade YouTube channel. I appreciate you watching my content. If you haven't already, please don't forget to go ahead and like this video by hitting the thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe by hitting the subscribe button. And don't forget to comment along the way. If you feel so inclined, please don't forget to share so that more people can find us. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Now let's get back to the video. I'm going to be very fair here. Choosing a favorite look from Meghan is very tough, and it's nearly impossible. Pick a day and I might say something completely different. But what I will say, over the years, this gown has reigned supreme as my number one all the time. Now, again, I fully expect Meghan to change my mind because she continues to pull out amazing looks. One of the dresses that was my favorite for a very long time was the bird dress, the midi length bird dress with the tulle. It was black and white. And I loved that gown. It's so unique and it's very different than anything else she's worn. I love that gown. I love that look. And she wore that with the Aquazora bow tie heels. I just thought that was a perfect look. The red cape dress that she wore to, I think it was, is it St. Albert's Hall? I can't remember, but it was during their final engagements as senior working royals. That whole week was just stunning look after stunning look after stunning look. So we could actually do this all day. I would even say, although this is my favorite because I gravitate to it, it's definitely not in a league of its own. Meghan's formal looks, and Meghan's looks in general, but her formal looks always come out 10 out of 10. So again, it just depends on the day, but this is the one that has always spoken to me, from the sleeves, from the length, the color, the draping. It was just absolutely stunning. That's the only word I could come up with. And I am actually a person who is partial to nude tones. I like earth tones. I am an earth sign. I'm a Virgo. I like earth tones. And I think they look fantastic on Meghan's skin. Now, she looks wonderful in color, but there are so many times when people say, oh, I want her to wear more color. And I'm like, I'm actually good wherever direction she takes us, because while I do love her in color, earth tones complement her so well. When she wore that olive green to Prince Louis' christening, oh my goodness, that is still to this day one of my favorite looks, and it is so underrated and not talked about enough. And the only reason it's not talked about enough is because we have so many other looks to talk about. So we could do this literally all day, which is why I'm trying to get caught up on Sussex styles, because I have had so many different looks that I've wanted to dissect, but we've been getting caught up in other topics and we haven't been able to circle our way back. So this is the beginning of me finally getting to catch up, because we have a lot of looks to talk about. Now, I do want to give you guys some control. Since we are going to be including way more Sussex styles now, I want to know what looks in particular you want me to talk about. I want to hear what you say first, and I'll prioritize those looks before I get to some of the ones that have been on my list. But I definitely have to get to the olive outfit, or the olive gown and hat that she wore to Prince Louis' christening. There's a few others that I want to get to. So y'all let me know which ones you want me to prioritize, and I will continue to dissect these looks together with you guys for our Sussex styles. So that is all I have for y'all today. I'm excited to read your comments and hear or read what you guys have to say about not only this look, but some of your favorite looks from Meghan. The thing is, she's pulled out so many amazing looks. She's definitely the best dressed royal, full stop. No contingencies, no preface. She's the best dressed royal to me. And so I could actually talk about 1,000,001 other looks and they would all have the same kind of excitement. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think is your favorite, or even top 5 favorite looks. What are the ones that have spoken to you? Have you wanted to wear any? Have you had any looks that were similar? Let me know in the comment section below. That's all I have for y'all. Thank y'all so much for sitting by as I raved about this look. Finally, I've been waiting to get to it. Thank y'all so much for indulging me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and feel free to share so that more people can find us. For those of you who are members of the channel, you just got a new video yesterday. I hope you enjoyed. Oh no, it was today. You got a new video today. And for those of you on Patreon, you got 2 new videos today. After I made my Patreon video, I got online and a whole nother topic popped up and I said, and you know what? Let's go. And I made another one. So you guys have 2 videos coming out today. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'm looking forward to reading those comments, child. That's all I have. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.